I think we're back.
Hello, gamers!
Yeah, not about to end this nonsense now. I mean, I've been live for
We were
4
talking
fucking
about.
hours.
I just mentioned Concrete Revolution.
Yeah, what I was saying when the internet cut out, and I don't know how much of this actually got through, was like uh, I feel like a lot of this stream has ended up being like you listing the name of an anime and then me being like, wow, I've heard of that, but I've never seen it. There's a lot of anime in the world.
There's a fuck ton. There's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that I haven't seen, or
Like,
I know by word of mouth.
Like, I mean, to give you an idea, you, like the general you, like, we're only talking about stuff that's come out this decade.
Yeah.
There's like a whole universe of 2000s, 90s, 80s, even earlier. Anime.
Yeah, like if I got into like 90s series that just happened after Evangelion of original series, I could still go on all day.
You'd have like weeks worth of anime off of that alone. Like,
indeed.
It's what people say when they say that it's a genre, or it's a medium, not a genre. Like,
yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
there's a lot.
Oh,
obviously.
Also, 2015 was the last Gynax show.
Oh, Wish Upon the Pleiades.
Yeah,
I like that show. I think it's actually very good. That show is so weird. Like, because it's a collaboration with Subaru, the car manufacturer.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, like, stupid design elements that they obviously mandated. But,
yeah.
It's, like, a genuinely emotionally affecting, homage to Magical Girl anime. And
yeah, like, my understanding was that it's, like, actually, like, for a last show for the Gynax to produce, it was actually decent as opposed to a lot of later Gynax, which is just
the thing I thought
not good.
You might have heard that opinion from me, because like I do think
yeah,
it's a good show.
I mean I've heard it here and there,
but like the thing about that show is, and I don't know if the people working on the show knew that it was going to be the last show that would ever be under like the regular Gynax name.
Yeah.
But if they did, this might actually be deliberate. The way that show ends, spoilers obviously, is the main cast end up getting sent. Like they solve the problem, which I won't go into detail, but they defeat the bad thing. And they get sent back in time to like the dawn of life on Earth. And the one character like is like, just lie down and take a nap, and when you wake up, you will be back on your first day of school. Also, like, I will, grant you one wish if you want. And, none of them change anything major, because they come to the conclusion that the most valuable thing they got was their friendships.
That's cute.
And it's a very esoteric ending for a pretty straightforward show, and it gets to me every time. Like, I'm actually slightly tearing up talking about it, which is embarrassing as fuck, but it's true.
But it's like, that's a very sweet sentiment for such a strange thing to happen.
Yeah, and like the way I always interpret it is that it's because that show is not by any of, like, the famous people who worked at Gynax. By the time that came out, like, Ano was gone already. Imaishi was gone already. Like, all of the notable people were gone.
Yeah.
That was a show by, like, the C and D listers at Gainax. It is the only series its director has ever directed. He was mostly like a mechanical designer, I think. But that's the only show he's ever directed. And, like, I kind of take it as, you know, yeah, we had some hard times, but we like working here.
That actually makes it really sad.
Yeah, but no though, cause like.
But also like positive. It's like a
yeah,
good,
you know,
we had a good run.
It's like, you know, so long and thanks for all the fish, basically.
Yeah.
Like I actually think it's very sweet. It's one of the few like it's a weird thing to be deeply affected by like the meta text of an anime, but I actually really like that show for that reason.
Actually, apparently, like if it is, yeah, that is. He did actually direct one other thing. You know what he directed?
What?
Fooly Cooley.
No, he directed an episode of Fooly Cooley.
An episode of Fooly
yeah.
Cooley.
He has some episode directorial work.
So he's like a guy who he was like one of the last guys still around.
Yeah, like he was a figure at Gainax, but he wasn't like one of the, you know.
Yeah, I was thinking like that. It seems odd that he's like listed as, you know, like director on Fooly Cooley. It's like he directed an episode at the very least.
It should say directed like episodes something, but maybe it doesn't.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But
yeah, and I guess that he got bumped up to, you know, doing more directing stuff
as more and more people started to leave.
Yeah, like Medaka Box. Like he had a role in series composition on Medaka Box, which this was the first thing that Nishio Ishin got adapted into an anime, which is wild.
Talk about starting off on the wrong foot, because that show is not.
That is a weird way to start things off. Yeah.
But he's
been around since Mahoramatic.
Yeah, like he
and earlier.
He had been there like for basically as long as the studio had been a going concern. Like he wasn't around for Gunbuster, but he was around for most of their notable work.
Oh, it's like, well, I mean, he's still getting work, you know, doing some pretty cool stuff. Like, he worked on storyboards for Review Starlight and for Sangatsu no Lion.
Yeah, he also did the mechanical designs for Fooly Cooley Alternative.
Neat.
He was one of the very few people who worked both on the original shows and on the sequels.
Yeah.
But like, I actually really think Pleiades is like a great show. In spite of the, like, I imagine it had to be like a really difficult environment to work in, because like, you know your studio is like doomed basically.
It's dying.
And you've got fucking Subaru of all companies breathing down your neck, being like, hey, give the magical girls fucking drive displays on their staves, which is a real thing in that series.
Oh man. Like when you get really far down the rankings of, like, you know, how many people actually watched, you know, X, Y, and Z show from a particular year or season, you get some really interesting, weird shows. Like before you run into like random kids shows and card game shilling things. Yeah. You run into like stuff that was for adults that runs in the middle of the night on other shows in between them, you know. Yeah. You get like the last Gainax show.
But like Pleiades, I legitimately like it's not my favorite Gainax show, but it's higher in my rankings than I think most people would put it. Like,
makes sense.
I really think it's a really good show. It's like a genuinely affecting send-off to where those people worked. And the other thing I like about the ending is that it's very clearly like a take on, the whole like Gynax ending stereotype,
Yeah,
where like an
exactly.
otherwise normal show ends in a really weird way. Like it's clearly them doing that on purpose, but like
Yeah.
to a particular end.
Homage.
Yeah.
And also, oh hey, Gatchaman Crowds and Gatchaman Crowds Insight were from this decade. So
Yeah.
that's neat.
I've seen Crowds. I think that's a very good show.
Yeah, and that was also directed by Kenji Nakamura, who did Mononoke, Tsuretama.
Yeah, like
and, and Trapeze, which is apparently really fucking weird.
Like Gotcha Man Crowds is an odd show, but I like it.
Yeah,
it's one of the few shows that both me and Cece really like.
Huh.
Our anime taste doesn't overlap like super much, but there's some stuff that we both enjoy, and Crowds is one of those things.
Mononoke, have you ever seen Mononoke?
I don't think so.
It is one of the most visually entrancing shows like I've ever seen. It's got a really weird visual style where it looks like, you know that whole thing where the patterns on a thing don't move?
Yes.
Everything is like that, and it all looks like it's painted on paper, like on rice paper.
What year are you in right now on that chart?
I'm in 2015. Mononoke is not from that.
Did you pass over Nobunagun at some point?
No, I think that's this season that I finally gotten to.
Really? Okay.
Chivalry of a Failed Knight, which is the better version of Asterisk War, as far as I'm aware. And, it's still, like, not anything groundbreaking. But it's pretty far up there.
I think I just figured out how to get, like, literally as many items in this game as I want until I get bored.
Actually, the funny thing is, having heard, a decent amount about it from various places, is like, it seems, for what it is, it seems pretty solid.
Chivalry?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like, that's another one
not
where,
my
like,
cup
I know
of
the name, but...
It's like, it's not really especially my cup of tea, but, like, what it's trying to do, even if it's not the most ambitious thing in the world, it does well. And it's another Shinonuma series where he pulls out all the stops and the, like, weird artsy stuff towards the end. Mm-hmm. And apparently it's... And I've seen, like, bits of it striking.
Is lit.
Mononoke is fucking lit.
What a great comment.
One Punch Man.
One Punch Man is the kind of thing that I could imagine someone putting.
But it's not my kind of...
I've actually seen the entire first season of One Punch Man, and I think it's very good.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a feeling that in terms of One's stuff, that I would probably get a lot more out of Mob Psycho.
Mob Psycho 100 is a lot better, is what I was going to say. Is like,
yeah.
One Punch Man is, like, fun, and it's a good show, maybe even a great show, but it's not, like, this is going to make me sound extremely pretentious. It doesn't really, like, mean anything or have anything to say about anything. Which is fine. Like, not everything needs to be fucking Serial Experiments lane. But
yeah, of course.
It's just, it's one of those things. And I feel like if you were gonna put a one, like a series backed by one on such a list, that Mob Psycho 100 would be a better choice.
Mob Psycho also has some of the wildest animation of any major show.
Yes, it was very
like in the past decade. Like in terms of experimental stuff, there's also Pop Team Epic in terms of visuals.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I mean, I'm saying just purely on visual experimentation. But I mean, Mob Psycho 100 is up there, like way up there. Because it's not just that it is unusual, but that it is really well executed and has an emotional resonance to it.
Yeah. Season 2.
Sakurako, the Beautiful Bones is right here.
Hey, yes. That show is good. Not an all-timer of the decade, I don't think. But...
Oh no, K.
No, I want to
And
talk
it's
about
sequel.
Sakurako, though.
Okay,
It's a
yeah,
good show.
Sakurako, sure.
Like... I feel like that's one of those shows that kind of got shafted because people didn't know what the fuck to make of it. Because that's, like, a really weird high concept, is, like, here's a lady who's got, like, a weird bone fetish, and she solves crimes. And that, like, the show itself is basically completely devoid of sexual content, but that is an accurate description of Sakurako herself.
But I mean, that was my understanding, is that there's, like, no actual sexual content or anything, but, like, this lady has a weird bone fetish.
Is like, the show kind of goes into it, and, in
and
many
you don't
ways...
even have to mean fetish sexually.
Yeah,
you can also mean that in an obsession way.
Yeah, like, in many ways, the show is kind of a study of Sakurako, the character, and also, the male lead, whose name I am blanking on at the moment, but who is more interesting than usual for such things.
There are some more.
But
here,
like, Sakurako's a solid one, and
yeah,
the actual like crime-solving element is really interesting, which is not like the kind of thing that I usually go for in anime, but it's a good one. But yeah, what else is on the list?
Heavy Object.
The Mecha series?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen that. I think maybe.
Osamatsu-san. I never got around to that.
That's one of those shows that like everybody seems to like, and I know this is shallow, but I can't get past the art style. I really don't like.
That's
how
understandable. It's very. I mean, it is derived from a show from the '60s with a very specific art style, even for that time.
Like it is supposed to. It's supposed to look that way. It's not like.
Yeah, it's like
it's not
very,
like bad.
Also, it has a weird fan base.
Yes.
This order a rabbit?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. There was a show that came out this year that had a parody of that in it. And
yeah,
the
like
show
got a couple of seasons. I heard it was cute and harmless.
The show from this year, which I'm actually not remembering the name of because it was really not anything special. The joke in that show is that is the order a rabbit, but instead of being rabbit cafe, the cafe is eel themed.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's about
like
as funny as the show ever got.
As a single gag, that's pretty good.
Oh no, that's like an entire episode. But
like Comet Lucifer, I recall what little I saw of that or heard about that being not good. Like it's colorful and to distract you from the fact that this plot is not very good.
You know. That's one of those things like
fucking god, the Attack on Titan parody manga adaptation.
Oh god, mini something Shoji?
Yeah,
I
like
forget what it's called.
Jugako.
Yeah.
The second season of Concrete Revolution, the sequel to Utaware Rumono, which is that weird harem isekai before isekai became the thing that it is now, and he's like, he knows trigonometry and he's in the Middle Ages essentially, but it's like the Japanese Middle Ages.
Nice.
So he's able to, like do all kinds of things, but also he doesn't remember who he actually is, other than that he shouldn't be here, or something like that.
That's interesting and sounds weirdly existential for the genre.
Yeah, like, and, but it's also a harem series, but it's, like, not a terrible harem series. Valkyrie Drive Mermaid, which is a lesbian fan service show.
Okay. We could do
And that's
worse.
it's one of the less, from what I recall, is one of the less skeevy things ARMS have done.
I might take a look at that actually. You didn't hear
Like,
that
it's
from
just
me.
like there's you know, so far as I
uh,
can tell, there are girls with big busts making out or
okay.
something.
You know,
Just
respectable.
how it do. Um,
Respectable.
um, let's see. Uh, Young Blackjack.
No idea what that's about. Wait, that's like
Blackjack
related to
Tezuka.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just a Tezuka show. There's Hidan no Aria. There are a few that don't have like the like I don't have the English title up here. And I just don't recognize and don't have real thoughts on Lance and Masks with the N with an apostrophe rather than an and.
What
Is
the
it like a
fuck is
Before Knights
Lance
and
and
Magic?
Masks? Oh, I hated that title. Like, the show
Oh, God.
itself was just mediocre from what I remember, but
Yeah.
Knights and Magic has a very frustrating title. Because
Yeah.
it's Knight apostrophe S plus magic.
Yes. Dances with Devils, which my mom watched the entirety of, and I have seen like a couple episodes of. It is really funny and bizarre. Like, it is a musical with supernatural powers, and it's like every shoujo trope
yeah, I've heard of that.
crammed into one place, and it is amazing. That is my camp classic of this year, I think.
I was my impression was that show was actually pretty good, despite being
it is
really
actually
weird.
no. It's like it's actually good, but it's also campy as fuck.
Yeah, you know.
Like you can be both. It's like with Seraph of the End. It is actually good, but it's also extremely campy and just you're in it for as much for the actual drama as for how campy it is, and in the case of Seraph of the End, for the hot boys, which is also true of Dances with Devils, but slightly different audience potentially, maybe. Sort of.
Hey, I just realized we've been live for 4.5 fucking hours.
I'm not surprised.
Yeehaw!
Garo.
Garo the Vanishing Line, I have heard not great things about, but it's apparently interesting at least.
There's also the sequel. There's the original and the sequel, and they're very...
Well, they're both based off of an old tokusatsu show, I think.
Yeah, or something like that, yeah. But this is the earlier of the two. The latter of the two, interestingly enough...
Well, yeah, Vanishing Line is the sequel, I think.
Yeah, but Vanishing Line, if I'm not mistaken, was directed by a guy who used to do a lot of storyboard work and key animation for Akiyuki Shinbo.
Huh.
Like back in the 90s when he worked on Yu Yu Hakusho. So it's like, it looks good. Like the visuals.
Yeah, like I've heard good but not great things about Garo, I think.
Yeah, it's like, it has a distinctive look to it.
That was one of the first couple things that This Week in Anime covered, the sequel to that.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Sokyu no Fafner, or Fafner something.
No idea.
Whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of whatever going down once you get to like a certain point. Oh, hi, Aikatsu. There's a spin-off of Hokuto no Ken down here.
As one does. A show that, like, is, one of those Japanese shows that's probably very popular, but, like, nobody cares about in the West. Which one?
Shin Ata Shinchi.
What's that?
It is a show about an almost normal family where wacky hijinks ensue, and the visual style is very not classically anime.
I see.
So it's like one of those things, is like probably a thing over there,
But not over
and,
here.
but will not be a thing over here.
Like Saizai-san.
Saizai-san, oh yeah.
From
like Saizai-san
way back in the day.
Saizai-san has been on since like the 70s.
I've actually heard it argued, and I almost agree, that Saizai-san actually predates like anime as a meaningful distinction.
Yeah, it does.
Because it's basically just like peanuts.
Yeah, it's like it was also like the original comic was extremely progressive for its time.
Yeah, back in the 40s.
Well, yeah, but it's also like
yeah.
It's like, about like this woman who, she's, married and things, but she's like, she has her own life and is doing shit.
It's also,
and,
like the way that they don't rerun stories generally ever.
And
that. So what they will do is they will just occasionally lightly rewrite the same plot to be to like more or less work in whatever year it happens to be, like.
Yeah, and they can get away with it because it's been on since 60s or 70s, and it's been running as a comic since the 40s.
Yeah, it's just it's a little bit a little bit wild.
God.
That's something that like I don't consider myself any less of an anime fan for having never seen an episode of Saizai-san.
That's entirely fair.
It's just so disconnected from what people think of when they hear the term. Like,
I mean, I would be interested in seeing some of those shows like that.
Yeah, like maybe sometime.
I am curious about.
Yeah, like
because that's been on for fucking ever, and it's Japanese kids shows are actually like where it's at if you want like weirdly interesting animation and
two turntables and a microphone.
Okay.
Beck.
Okay. All right. So we've moved on to 2016, and you know what debuted in 2016? My Hero Academia and Erased.
Erased. That is one of those shows that was controversial.
Yeah, that was Konosuba.
Yes. Which is another one that I would not put on any all-time great lists of the decade, but I think some people would.
Yeah, it's like, I have not gotten around to it.
Very popular sort of sitcom-y anime with a lot of silly stuff going on.
It seems like it could be fun, but it's not something I'm gonna put as like a top anything.
Yeah. I think that's pretty fair, honestly.
I can respect this. It's a decent comedy and all, but it's not like god tier. And Erased seems like one of those things where, like, from what I've heard about it, I probably wouldn't have been as mad about the way it ended as most other people. But then I don't get mad about those things as often as other people do.
Yeah, like, people really... There is this thing that people do, and I hesitate to call it a problem, even though I kind of think it is one. But, like, there's a thing people do where they want a media property to end a single specific way. And they get very upset if it doesn't end that way, and I think that's like...
Excuse me.
That's, like, unhealthy.
Also, another thing is that apparently it is incidentally worth noting that apparently the manga for Erased is better than the show.
I have heard that, yeah.
And that actually there was a live-action, like, series, I think, that was actually quite faithful to it.
That's surprisingly common.
Yeah, and that actually it was actually good because a
Yeah.
lot of those aren't.
Like low budget live action stuff
Yeah,
being
whereas
adapted
like
from
this
manga
one
is pretty
actually
common.
had a budget and care put into it.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like one of those things where while, like it's not a bad like the anime is not a bad adaptation, there are actually other adaptations that are arguably like, if I'm not mistaken, like that I think I've heard it argued that the TV show is actually better, but that really the manga is probably the best version of the story you're gonna get.
Yeah. But
Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash, I am very intrigued by, but haven't gotten to yet. Phantom World.
that doesn't ring a bell.
All I remember about it is that it's like a not very good light novel thing.
Ah, that would explain why.
Gate is a really not good light novel thing.
Gate is bad. And
Yeah,
that is all we will say about that.
Extremely fucking bad. Assassination Classroom, I forgot to mention previously, is
Yeah.
like, one of those well-loved shonen shows that's still a little bit niche-ish. Like, it's like, if you're into that, you are already on that train.
I think Ass Class, as people call it, was one of those things that was more popular domestically than abroad, even though it's reasonably popular in both places.
Yeah, it's like, it has a very dedicated following who really like it, and, good for them.
Yeah.
And if you're into that kind of flavor of shonen series, you'll probably like it.
Yeah, like it's mostly a comedy, is my understanding.
Yeah, it's a comedy
It's
that
like a
actually
weird one.
has apparently, like a message that would be very after-school special if it weren't for the fact that it's delivered in a rather droll, strange way.
Yeah.
And that it's actually rather charming. And it's also about like an alien that's, like, if you can, like, defeat me, I won't kill you.
If
and
you can
destroy the
defeat
world
me,
and all that.
I will impart you the wisdom of the Wu-Tang.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's like, it's like, what if great teacher Onizuka were Mewtwo? Except...
That's a new one. I get it, but...
Okay, Dagashi Kashi is the one about the candy shop.
So, Dakashi Kashi, the manga, is actually, like, surprisingly very good.
Yeah.
The first season of the anime is a faithful adaptation of the manga. The second on, they just basically mined it for, like, fan service scenes.
Yeah, that's my understanding, is that, like, the initial thing is fine, it's a serviceable adaptation, and then it just goes...
Dagashi Kashi, like, if you are interested in Japanese confectionaries, you have found your anime of the all time.
well, at least the first.
The first season, yeah, until it just becomes about boobs. But
Ajin is one that looked kind of interesting. It was a CG one and a pretty good CG one. Netflix picked it up.
It's been weird because, like, as you've been reading, you've started getting into more and more stuff that I actually watched while it was airing.
Oh yeah, Dimension W. Oh man.
Never heard of that one, I don't think.
3 Hertz and Orange worked on it. And
yeah, that was 3 Hertz one show before Flip Flappers, wasn't it?
Yeah, and apparently wasn't great.
Okay.
Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju. We've reached the, like, fucking air horns now.
Is that an air horns worthy show?
In the sense that it is, like, one of those shows that the people who've actually seen it are like, this is one of the greatest, like, drama anime of all time.
That's like a quiet drama series, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the joke. That's the joke.
Alright. I'm sorry for
But
not
yeah, like, and
understanding
especially the second season, apparently. So, I think this could be a contender. I only was able to see the first episode, which apparently is just all, it's in the modern day, and it's, like, essentially just set up for the stuff that happens in the past. which then leads back into the present and is like, what's really compelling about the show. Like, it gets off its, like, that the first episode, which is double-length episode, is like slow and just setup essentially. But nonetheless, it was quite good. And I'm thinking, if that's like the weak episode, then this is probably banging.
Yeah.
This is probably real good. And also I've heard it's like got a lot of interesting stuff going on with like, a character one of the main characters who isn't necessarily portrayed in a sympathetic light, but he's sympathetic, but also like a deeply fucked up person. And it's also like part of it is indicated is like that he or they might be a deeply closeted, like, non-binary or trans person who simply was never able to express that because of the era that, they lived through.
Well, that's, like, super depressing.
But at the same time, it's like, which is really sad, but at the same time, it's like, it's about it's about, like, the character that he's mentoring, who is, in the modern day, who's like this like former, 2-bit criminal who wants to get it, who saw one of his shows that he performed at a prison and decided to become a Rakugo performer. And like his story and the story of this guy's, this performer's adoptive daughter, who is the daughter of his best friend and fellow, Rakugo performer from back in the day, who died, who he had a really ugly falling out with.
Wait, how do you know all this if you haven't seen the show?
Because I follow people who follow this show religiously.
I see.
And like, and a lot of the story is about, their, like coming up with this guy, and the sort of, just a lot of stuff happened.
Well,
and it's, really, it's a quiet, compelling character drama.
I gotta say, like, the 2010s, as far as I know, there were really only the two of them, but they did hit, like, every, the two polar opposite tones that a show about Rakugo could possibly have. Between that and Joshiraku.
And Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju.
Yeah. Which,
by the way, Showa... the last word in Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju, and part of the reason why it's, like, untranslatable as a title, is a specific word in Japanese drama that refers to a lover's double suicide.
Well, see, that's not untranslatable because you just translated it. But I understand
but it's not translatable cleanly. Like the title,
too awkward for it to have a catchy English title.
Like the full title would be something like, I can't remember what Genroku means exactly, but it's like essentially in the Showa era, Rakugo something. And Rakugo is like a weirdly specific concept in and of itself.
Well, Rakugo's a kind of theater. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's essentially a form of
For anyone who doesn't know, Rakugo is a one-man kind of theater performance where somebody either tells like a weird story or does a monologue, and they indicate different characters by like inflecting their voice in different ways.
Yeah, it's like
essentially extremely Japanese.
It is extremely Japanese. It has like sort of connections to, in a way, like it has parallels to things like stand-up comedy, and it is often comic, but it's also got like this old storytelling kind of classical bent to it. And also part of it is like the only props you have are a lamp and a fan.
Yeah.
And like there's a very specific and like different and sometimes you'll have like a lot of traditional stories which are passed down over and over again and are essentially the same. The text is identical, but the way that people play it will be totally different.
Yeah, it's a very, um, again, it's very Japanese.
And it's it's about, like, mastering tone and, an implication and, like, double entendre.
It's also, like, very old, I think.
The origins of it are. Like, Rakugo as a formalized thing is fairly recent, but the roots of it in Japanese theater are really old.
Yeah. But anyway, that's that one.
Snow White with the Red Hair, which I've heard is very warm and fuzzy.
Yes.
I've seen, like,
saw some
3
of
episodes
that,
of it.
And it was alright. I didn't finish it, but it was okay.
It was fine, it looks pretty, and apparently is very endearing and has good characters. It just was a little bit slow for me at the time. But I might get back to it at some point and give it a check.
I think this aired in You're in 2016 now, right? Or
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the beginning of 2016.
I think a thing that aired that year, which is probably not on that list, was Lights of the Cleone, which is...
Oh, yeah! This is the wildest thing. Alan Moody at Them, the guy who's the most consistent reviewer there, recently reviewed that, or it might not actually have been put up yet.
Do you recall what he said about it?
That it's about, like, this bullied girl who 2 people try to, befriend her and treat her like an actual human being, but there's more going on than that. It's
extremely cryptic series. Like, I couldn't make it through it. And I'm saying that, by the way, and they're like 10-minute short
From the way
episodes.
he described it, I got a distinct sense of what the major twist is in it.
If you would like to share with me, go right ahead.
That girl is no longer alive.
Yeah, like
that became very obvious to me just from the summary. Is like, this girl, honestly, and hey, anybody who has not seen Hanamonogatari, plug your ears. Same kind of goddamn twist, that it's important to the, basically that the main character learns a very important lesson from somebody who killed themselves from bullying, is the vibe I got.
The thing people didn't like about Cleone, I think, was that for a show with 10-minute long episodes, it's like weirdly meandering. It takes a long time to get there, I think.
Yeah, I understand that.
Extremely weird anime.
Yeah.
In like a very low-key sense.
But incidentally, like, what Hanamonogatari, I think, does with that particular trope is actually really neat, because of how it kind of comments on the whole thing of being in the closet and, or alternately being someone who does not have that luxury as, a very visibly queer person, and what that can do to you as a person, especially in Japanese society.
The idea of Monogatari having any level of queer subtext is extremely strange to me, but...
Not queer subtext. It's in the text. They're both, both of those characters are lesbians.
Well, I've never seen that one.
You have seen Hanamonogatari. It is the one that is the one...
Oh, it's the one about the basketball girl.
Yes.
Okay, for some reason, I just was not...
How did you miss that, that's what it's about?
No, I remember now. I just kind of, forgot about it, I guess.
That's actually one of my... That's up there with the arc, Nadeko Medusa. It's up there with Nadeko Medusa as, my favorite Monogatari arc thus far.
You like Nadeko Medusa?
Yeah.
Huh.
Not Nadeko Snake. Nadeko Snake is the first one.
I'm aware. I don't like any of Nadeko's arcs, really, but...
Nadeko Medusa is fucking... I
That's
love
the
that
one
arc.
where she becomes the shrine goddess, right?
At the end of it,
Yeah.
yes. But
Okay.
it's
Mm.
like it's really more about her slowly going insane.
I just don't like Nadeko as a character, I guess. Like,
I find her really interesting despite her being unpleasant.
No, that's not what I mean. Like,
or not unpleasant, but like, how do I put it? Like, she's an interesting example of like a character who on a deeper level is not a particularly nice person.
I mean, no, she like tries to kill people at some point.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, even before that, like, you sort of realize that, like, it's.
No, I know what you mean.
I don't know,
but like,
she's interesting.
I kind of don't think she is. Like, I guess that's kind of where we differ. Like, I
can understand
I have known enough people like that I don't find it too like super compelling in fiction, I guess, if that makes any sense.
Fair enough. Like, somebody who has that kind of mask going on.
Yeah, it's just I've got relatives who are like that, and that's
I can see that being like something that. But the thing about like with Nadeko is like
you don't want to
how it's like a defense mechanism that has become so ingrained in her that it's made her this weird, fucked up person.
Like, it's true in the cases of the people. Like that's true in the cases of the people I'm talking about too. It's just,
that is totally fair.
It just doesn't make them any more fun to deal with.
But I can understand that. Like, if it's very close to how
it's a life experiences thing. Like, it's not even that it made me uncomfortable. It was just like, I get it, but I'm not someone who needs to be told that there are people who are like this. Also,
I don't think that even the point is there are people who are like this. It's more exploring somebody coming to the realization of what they actually are.
Yeah,
and breaking down like a very specific archetype in anime that's exploited in a very shallow way, and then kind of seeing what happens if you make this person an actual person.
I guess.
And I don't know. I don't know. I like it a lot. Actually, that's one of Cece's favorite art.
Yeah.
Speaking of you having different anime tastes,
I think that is true, and
she and I have weirdly similar taste in Monogatari.
I think we've actually talked about this once or twice before, but
like when she was on the show, like this came up. Okay, Durara, the sequels of Durara.
I actually have to use the restroom real quick.
Okay.
So I will be right back.
I actually also do, so that's a slight problem. No,
I will be right back.
It happens. Uh,
Yeah.
I got back at like the exact moment that you got back.
Excellent.
So, what was the thing? Um, so, okay, so, all right. So,
What are we on now?
well, we're on the sequels to Durarara.
Oh yeah, those are apparently very good, and I want to watch them at some point.
Yeah, like I need to like get to Durarara.
Do ra ra ra.
Or if you want to be really pedantic.
No, nobody calls them that.
I know, but it's like it's meant to imitate the sound of a motorcycle engine.
Dra-da-da.
Like it's drrr.
Yes.
And also I love that Studio Shuka is just like a bunch of people who from I can't remember which studio previously had done like Bakano and Durarara. Just like they wanted to do more Durarara, so they couldn't get the funding for it, so they made their own studio to do it.
You know.
That's great, honestly. I'm like all for that.
Like
And
real
apparently,
writers.
I've heard rumblings that they might actually do more of Bakano.
That's interesting.
Like,
but
one day.
What else is on? The list?
Rage of Bahamut.
That's one of those ones that was apparently actually really good, but not very many people watched it.
It's a light novel adaptation, so I'm wary of
it.
it.
It's a fantasy light novel thing, but it's apparently like actually good.
Huh.
I think nowadays it is mostly known as being the thing that Grand Blue Fantasy spun off from.
That makes sense. Okay.
Unfortunately for it, I suppose.
Yeah. Prince of Stride Alternative.
Never heard of it.
That I think that's a sports
anime,
show.
yeah, like something about running, maybe.
Yeah, it's like it's one. Yeah. Oh, there's there's a Haruchika. Wait a second. Yeah, I've heard of this one because it's like it is the mystery show and they're members of the wind instruments club at their school. It's kind of goofy, and also the male lead is gay.
I have never heard of that.
Yeah, it's not like super well known. It's a PA Works show, actually.
PA Works is another one of those studios where you never really know what you're getting.
But yeah, basically these two friends, this girl and this guy, who are in the wind instruments club, are trying to save their club, and also wind up solving mysteries.
Interesting.
And it's just casually mentioned in one of the episodes that the male lead character has a huge crush on one of their teachers, who is a guy, and it's just like no big deal. Like main character just gay. Sure.
But yeah, I mean that sounds interesting. I've never heard of it. I don't think.
There's an early Leiden films, or not even early, but
Films.
Leiden films, Schwarzes Marken, which means
hold on.
black marks.
Was the one that you were talking about a Leiden Films joint?
No, Haruchika is PA Works.
Okay. Okay. So the next one, yeah, all right.
So the next one is Schwarzes Marken, which means black marks in German. And it's by Leiden Films. It's an action show based on a light novel.
Ask me about Leiden Films.
I'm not even getting... The events in Schwarzes Marken take place in 1983. The East German Army 666th TSF Division, and it's apparently mecha. So it's like fucking... Oh my god. It is a mecha war show taking place in a parallel version of the Cold War done by Leiden Films.
Ask me about them, Sredni.
With girls.
Ask me about them. You're not asking.
Aren't they the ones who did Asuka?
They've done many shows, and they all suck.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
They are, like, it is my genuine opinion that they are the worst anime studio that currently makes anime.
The next one is Luck and Logic, which is a Doga Kobo.
Hold on,
joint.
I'm not quite done.
Okay, yes.
The other funny thing about Leiden Films is that they are part of Super Ultra Pictures, which is the same company that Studio Trigger is part of. Just like yin and yang.
Yeah, the like, what else have Leiden Films done that sucks?
Asuka, they did a Magic Senpai this season, which is like a
Oh yeah, that's the one where she does the Ahegao faces.
Basically, like, it's very...
She's bad at magic and does Ahegao faces.
Yeah. It, like, just...
I mean, that one looked like the kind of thing that would be amusing for one episode.
I watched the first episode, and I couldn't get through the whole thing. It's just
fair.
Like, their whole brand is just aggressive mediocrity. It's upsetting to me. I don't know what's wrong with them as a
But
studio.
Magical Spec Ops Asuka wasn't mediocre, it was fuck awful.
Yeah, that, like, actually the worst show I've ever watched, end.
What other things have they put out, though?
Like, they've done a ton of stuff, most of which is not anything anyone's ever seen. Like, they are very prolific, and it's mostly mediocre light novel adaptations. Like, you can look on their analyst page.
That makes...
It's just gonna be shit you've never heard
think
of.
that it vaguely rings a bell there. Okay, the next one here is Luck and Logic, which is Doga Kobo. You know? Like, you can kind of not necessarily expect the, plot or precise contours of what will happen with a Doga Kobo show, but you can generally predict that it will be okay, and
didn't they move on to doing, like, not to be overly sanctimonious, but aren't they kind of infamous now for doing, like, basically pedo-pandering shows?
If you mean, like, the weird... Why are there so many weird lesbian lolicon shows?
Yeah,
it has become a weird thing with them.
That's kind of their bag now, which I don't get, but...
I mean, it is a very strange niche to, like,
whatever gets the paycheck, I guess.
Like they did Wada 10 is
Yeah,
like, I mean...
Well...
But at the same time...
Well, Luck and Logic is from before they started doing all that stuff. Luck and Logic's like a romance show,
they
right?
do other things, it's just that because that sort of stuff... Because they've run more than one show like that.
Yeah, like, it... Maybe they just really need the money and nobody else will do those? I don't know.
It's like the... It's like one of those sort of situations, like, where... Like... Yeah, like, I don't want to get into any of my own thoughts on those sort of things at all, because it's a fucking, landmine.
It's whatever. It's just sort of a weird niche for a studio.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, whatever, but basically the thing is, it's just like, it is a very strange niche to get into, even if it's just a few of your shows. Like, one of your shows, you know what I mean, is like...
Yeah. Well, like, even if it was something innocuous, like something that specific. Like...
It is very specific, and there's, like, more than one.
Yeah.
Is the thing. They also did... Oh, God, what is the title of the one? The one with the, like, crazy military nanny.
Oh, I know which one.
Maid.
Yeah, okay.
That one. Yeah, I think they also did that.
Although, we should probably talk about something else now, because, like...
Oh, yeah, because that's, like...
I feel like if somebody comes in here and we're talking about that, they will immediately leave.
Yeah, like, somebody, Yeah.
It's all
Yeah, but yeah, it's like it's yeah. Basically the point is like Doga Kobo. Even if you set that stuff aside, it's like the general thing with their stuff
dog
is
on a cob.
they haven't done a lot of great shows, but they usually look good and they have really good key animators on staff. Is the thing. Like their
I've
stuff
heard that, yeah.
their stuff generally looks pretty. Is like basically, it's and like yeah, I mean, but even and also like they do also have like other stuff that's niche in a different way in the sense that it's like there's definitely an aesthetic to what they do in general, even setting aside the more controversial stuff.
Yeah.
Like
What
they
else
have
is what else is on there?
Bubuki Baranki.
The fuck is that?
It's a Sanzigen show. Sanzigen are one of the, better respected 3D CG studios.
Oh. Not familiar with that one.
Yeah. Active Raid. Don't remember that one.
Heard of it, don't know anything about it.
Ray Kenzan.
Not ringing any bells.
Oh, shit. Pandora and the Crimson Shell.
Ah, yes. That's a series that exists.
I need to watch that because it sounds batshit raving insane.
I also
there
want to watch that. So, like, about a lesbian mad scientist who builds a robot that you have to turn on by hitting a switch between its legs, I think.
But yeah, but between her legs.
Yeah.
And she is like, and if I'm not mistaken, she is a cat girl maid.
Yeah, it's an action.
And she
series,
and her minder
sure.
fall in love.
Yeah.
And they're both girls. And also, it's based on a thing by Shiro Masamune. Who was the Ghost in the Shell guy, but he's
Sredni.
also known for doing a lot of porn.
Sredni.
Yes.
What if we kissed, and you're a cat maid, and a robot, and we're both girls?
Exactly! Apparently that's not even the weirdest that the show gets, because it's like...
It's an action series, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, it is an action series that has, like, things to say about robotics and humanity and shit.
Well, of course it does, it's by the Ghost in the Shell guy.
But it's also, like, more than a little bit of comedy fan service thing, but it's
yeah,
like...
it's one of those shows where it sounds like it's trying to do, like, 9 different things at once.
And apparently it doesn't suck, from what I've heard.
I've heard it's actually, like, pretty good.
Yeah, like,
it's just,
exactly.
like, really
That's the
weird.
thing, it's like... It's just, like, it's the kind of show that it will appeal to you if you're into some really... Speaking of weird niches, it's like... This is for a very specific kind of person.
Yeah, that might be the weird niche that I fall into. We'll find out if I ever get that.
It's like, if you, if you, if you're, it's like, with a show like this, if you're that person.
Yeah.
And you think, yes, I must see this. Then you probably are the person who should see this. Phantasy Star Online 2, the animation.
I didn't know that there was an anime of Phantasy Star.
And there's going to be a new one, apparently.
Huh. Interesting.
Norn 9, which is from Kinema Citrus before they really got on a roll, and it's like a Shonen Ai thing in the future.
What the fuck is Shonen
Ai? It's a way of saying, well, okay, boys love.
So yaoi.
Yeah, but I mean, yaoi tends to imply slightly more porn. And in Japan, Shonen Ai just means, like, Shotokan. So, like, oh boy. Yes. Yeah, but in the English fandom, I was using in the English fandom. So
yeah, but those terms are silly. And I don't
yeah. but it's a boys love show.
fucking whole shoujo ai thing, which has been the result of more arguments than there are drops of water in the ocean.
Yeah.
On manga decks. Even though
Like,
it is,
apparently,
as far
like,
as we can tell, like a made-up term entirely.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Shonenai, like, it's a little more ambiguous. Like, it can mean a couple of different things in Japanese fandom.
Well, like I think the thing was
They're
like
contradictory.
like because like shonenai is as an actual term that people use. They use it differently in both countries.
Yeah,
but
and
like
if
it
I'm not
did
mistaken,
originally
like,
mean
shoujo
something.
ai has a meaning in Japan, but it's very specific and not what people use it for here.
I don't know if it does, because like I've remembered.
No,
like,
I've read that it does, and it's
okay. Well, point being,
it's like we were already talking about those Doga Kobo shows.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is.
Here's what I think is that people should just call them respectively Yuri and Yaoi. And
yeah, but like
Yaoi
again tends to have a slightly more adult porny implication, and
well,
like in Japan it's generally BL. It's boys love.
Well, then just say BL.
That's what I mean.
I'm not talking to you specifically. I'm talking to like the world,
the fandom at large.
Just it doesn't need to be this complicated.
Yeah, people these days mainly just call it BL.
I've got DMs. What's going on here?
Oh, Nurse Witch Komugi-chan, which is, if I'm not mistaken, is that the one that was spun off of the Soul Taker? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Because there was a whole magical girl series spun off from a minor character in the Soul Taker.
Maybe.
Oh, there's another Precure.
Well, my assumption has been that there's a Precure in all of these, that you're just not.
Well, not in every season, but
well, no, but like once a year, yeah.
Which I mean, I don't think there was one in the previous year. No, it's because I've been missing continuations too, because sometimes they start in one year and continue into the next, and then the new Precure starts the year after that.
What? Which one was that?
This one is Mahotsukai Precure.
Mahotsukai?
Yeah. Mahotsukai Precure.
What does the main character look like?
Mirai Asahina is her name. And there's a blonde girl, a purple-haired girl.
Huh. This one's not ringing any bells. And I'm like at least passingly familiar with most of the Precure crews. I wonder if that one just wasn't very well received.
Oh, there's a Fairy Lou, which I've heard of. That's a Sanrio thing. Flowering Heart, I have never heard of.
I have actually. It's God. What the hell is Flowering Heart? I remember the name.
It appears to be a kids magical girl show.
Right. That's not an anime. That's an anime. That's Korean.
Annie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess it probably. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the thing now, and it's like.
The one thing people know about that show, because it got an English dub, all the characters are named like there's a couple male side characters, and they're all named after games, like traditional card games, and as a consequence, there is a blonde boy named Trump.
That's awkward.
Yeah, that's like the one. That's like the one thing people know about the show. It had an English dub.
Galko-chan!
Hey, that's a good show.
Okay.
I like that series.
Like, there are a bunch of shorts like Nijiro Days, which I'm not familiar with. Wait. Is that? Looks vaguely familiar. But, there's Oji-san and Marshmallow, which,
Galko is bi, and I'll tell you how I know that.
Oh no, there is one good thing that Leiden Films ever did.
What?
Only one.
What?
And I'll tell you what it is.
What?
Secco Boy.
Nah, Not familiar.
It's the one with the idol group and their 4 actual Roman statues.
The marble statues. Okay.
They're
well,
marble, and it was done by Leiden Films of all things.
I'll give them that one, I guess. I
like
think
that
was
literally
their run of whatever the opposite of a run of gold is has only really been a thing in like the past 2-3 years. So maybe that was just before that. I don't know.
Oh, and then there's Oya-san wa Shishunki, which what is that called in?
Did you know, Sredni, that it is a plot point? Not a plot point, but it's mentioned in the Galco-chan manga that she has a crush on Samuel L. Jackson.
I did hear that, and I'd forgotten about it until you mentioned it.
It's really funny.
That is pretty good.
It's just like the most random intersection of pop culture possible.
Wait a second. Oh, yes. What? Okay, what I need to do is log into AniList because I need to know what the title of this is in English.
Sredni Vashtar has logged the fuck in.
Logged the fuck in. What is... I'm just, like, annoyed because, like, what's the English title? God damn it! For anything.
You probably have it set to only display the Romanji. Because that's
I mean, no, it's set to it as a default is the problem.
Well,
and I'm not logged in.
Like, you can have it display the English titles.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, wouldn't it be useful to have, like, both displayed? Oh, wait, it is there. It is, I just had to scroll over.
Sredni.
Oh my G. Landlord is in puberty. What? That's a
title.
Oh, it's because there's a boy who lives an independent life, and he moves into a rented apartment, and his landlord is a little girl. It doesn't look creepy.
Hopefully
It just looks kind of zany.
That would be nice, but boy, they really could have picked a better English title, huh?
Yeah, and she just goes to middle school and stuff.
But
and it's like it doesn't.
Anything else?
From what I can tell, it's not like skeevy. It's just like it's a zany 3-minute short show.
Yeah.
I was just like randomly curious because, you know, I thought that the characters' designs were vaguely cute. Oh, there's the sketchy looking at least magical girl show that was like another 3-minute one that Pine Jam did. Take You season 7.
Wait, what show was that? You can't just describe it and not give me a title.
Maho Shoujo Nante mo ri Nante mo I desukara, which I think is called in English. Actually, I think that it turned out that it wasn't half as sketchy as the poster would have you believe, which is, oh god, what was it called? Like it was just referred to as Mahoi, apparently, by a lot of people. But basically, yeah, it's, oh yeah, this one, it's like it might be skeevy, but like last I checked, it actually isn't nearly
just
as skeevy
not
as you'd
an
think.
English title?
Yeah, like there doesn't seem to be an English title.
That's weird.
Although, basically, it's like, you're going to become a magical girl. Okay, sure. And then it just kind of is annoying and irksome.
Interesting.
And Take You season 7, as I said.
Classic, of course.
3rd season of Yami Shibai.
Okay.
Oh,
well,
there's that one where it's like, oh god, I can't remember, the Konodanshi series. One of the Konodanshi series, which is...
What?
This boy is blank.
Nope.
This boy is a mermaid. This boy is a professional wizard, etc.
Nope.
It is a, you know, It's a BL series. It's
Okay, well that's why.
It's like their comedy BL series, very soft, like kind of goofy, self-aware.
A Boy is a Gun.
That's the Tyler the Creator BL series.
Yes, of course.
Which we all need in our lives. Sushi Police!
Sushi Police! Alright. Can you move on to the next, block of series that
I'm
we're
just
actually starting?
scrolling past all... I was just scrolling past all the shorts.
Okay.
Because there were shorts that I actually recognized.
Fair.
And that was weird to me. Let's see. Spring season is when you have fucking My Hero Academia ruling everything. ReZero.
Yeah,
Bungo
okay.
Stray Dogs has a following.
I think Bungo Stray Dogs and ReZero are both things that people might put up there. I wouldn't, because I've never seen either of them, but...
Like, ReZero, seems like...
People tend to either really like or really hate that show.
Yeah, it seems like something that I would not dislike, but I just wouldn't rank it at that level at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that it's like, oh, this is good. Oh, it has some interesting things going on in it, but, like, I think a lot of, like, the people who really praise it, like, granted, some of them, and this is not fair to a lot of people who like it. There are a lot of people who like it for many other reasons. But there is a contingent of people who just haven't watched a ton of anime who think that this is subverting the isekai genre.
Well, yeah.
When it's like, now and then here and there did this in the early 2000s.
Well,
and that's even darker!
To be fair, like, isekai in the 2010s and isekai in, 2002
that period is different.
Are different things.
But at the same time, it was also subverting this certain, I'm in another world, it's so exciting kind of thing.
Well,
way far
again, back. To be fair to ReZero, the
yeah,
whole
and
Narukai thing is, way more of a, naked power trip fantasy than any of that earlier stuff was.
Yeah, comparing something like Vision of Escaflowne to, and there were actually a lot of, shoujo series that were, isekai.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Action shoujo series, which are barely a thing anymore. Which is kind of disappointing, because some of them were really good.
This is one of those things, that's kind of the... Because of, shrinking market demographics and shit.
Yeah.
That's one of the many demographics that those all-girl action shows are aimed at.
Yeah,
you think about something like Princess Principal, for example.
Yeah, that those have kind of absorbed a lot of that.
Yeah,
it's... But it died before it came back.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm glad that it's back.
Yeah, it's it is different now, because it's a lot of these modern shows, they kind of take sort of they take stuff from when it was heavily female cast but more male focused audience, and then kind of turn a lot of those things on their heads in interesting ways.
I think the demographic aiming is actually very interesting, because I think what a lot of these shows, this is something that I would give Symphogear some credit for, is they kind of figured out that if you make an all-girl action show, you're kind of appealing to everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can get away with a lot more if you do that. And that's why you had, Princess Principal, Katana Maiden's Girl in Twilight, Release the Spice, fucking,
How was Release the Spice?
Release the Spice is alright. It's got a very strong middle. The ending is sort of weird, and I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I recall you being really hyped for it before it came out.
Visually, it's, amazing. Well, maybe not amazing. but it's got some really good stuff going on visually.
Yeah.
The main thing with Release the Spice is that it's really good, and then it kind of doesn't stick the landing too well, but it's still a good show. Like, I would recommend it to most people.
Oh, hey, coming up, some shows that people actually recognize. Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress.
Ah, yes. Action Train.
Yeah, Action Train show, which Tetsuro Araki did because it was like all the ideas that he was like, I've been doing Attack on Titan, why don't I do my own thing, but even more batshit? And it's like, honestly, I would vastly prefer to watch Cabaneri to
It's apparently, like, pretty alright. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've heard that, like, the antagonist in the second half is kind of lame, but that as a whole the show is really fun.
Yeah.
And really beautifully animated and drawn.
Yes.
And I've seen some like there's this Chinese animator who, like, an acquaintance of mine was looking up for to credit on a different show, and I saw some of his I think his name is Zhou Wei. Was it in-betweens or keyframes for Cabaneri? And it was like, this is some of the most beautiful line work I've ever seen in my life. Like, I really respect that. Speaking of really good-looking shows, although in this case, like, one that I know is polarizing, Kisniver.
Yeah, we brought Kisniver up earlier.
Yeah, we've
We've now been streaming for long enough that we're starting to repeat ourselves.
Well, I mean, we've gotten to the point where we're getting two shows that we'd already talked about because they're more recent.
Yeah.
Sakamoto desu ga?
Bayonetta's son.
Yes. He does look like Bayonetta. Holy shit, I never made that connection.
I am not the first person to make that joke, so...
I never made that connection, but you're so true.
Well, I think it's less that he looks like him, looks like her, and more that he looks like her and also, like, acts in a broadly similar manner.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, good though. Good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, Sakamoto was one I never got into, and I think that I'd only, like, want to watch, like, a couple episodes every once in a while because of the fact that it is, like, one joke. But it, like, seems like it executes the joke well.
Yeah.
Oh, Diamond is Unbreakable, already mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Netoge. I heard that sucked.
Netoge?
Netoge no yome wa onna no ko janai omotta. It's essentially, is there really a girl online, is the title.
Oh,
that one.
No, the English title for that is actually even more awkward. It's like, I think they translated it literally and then fucked up the word order. It was like,
oh no.
It was like, would you really say that there was actually a girl online or something?
Oh, fucking hell.
For that or something.
But yeah, I've heard that show is not good.
It doesn't shock me.
Oh, wait. Tanaka-kun is always listless. I've been meaning to get around to that because it looks cute.
That show is apparently pretty okay.
Yeah, it's like, it's not for everyone, but it's like, if you like that kind of comedy,
it's just
and
like
you like a chill time.
Yeah,
it's chill.
The joke is that he's lazy.
Well, not even lazy. That he just falls. He's basically a narcoleptic. And like,
there's actually that guy made another manga that has like the same core conceit, except also he gets gender bent in the first chapter, and that's the only thing that's different.
Oh, Ray Earth. Yeah, Ray Earth is not from this decade. But
no,
it is.
Edlin mentioned that a while ago.
But it is a magical girl mecha show. So, Yeah.
when you were talking about isekai.
Oh yeah, and it is an isekai. Yeah, I forgot to. Yeah, like
action shoujo, rather.
action
Yeah.
isekai, which is like a dying art, and it makes me sad because those are
No,
really
it's
fun.
a reviving art.
It's a reviving art.
This.
Well, I
yeah.
mean, it is like it was a dead art, but it's coming back.
Yes.
But I'm saying like, you know, that school of isekai where it was also shoujo action is
that's not really.
It's basically
anymore,
dead. But like Rayearth, and I really like what I've seen of Escaflowne. I haven't finished it yet, but
I wasn't feeling Escaflowne, honestly. I don't know if I'll ever finish
can respect that.
Like,
but
it's just kind of, I don't know. I actually don't really know how to articulate what I didn't like about it, unfortunately. I'm starting to get real tired. We are now approaching hour 6 of streaming.
What I'm gonna say is I'm gonna stop you and say I respect your wrong opinions.
Don't say that to me. I'll fucking eat you.
Twin Star Exorcists.
That was good, apparently. Like weird shonen series, I think.
Yeah, it's like some kind of like
they're
the over the top.
The thing is that they're give it up for hour 6. Like the the conceit is that the two protagonists are twin brother and sister.
Yes.
And there's like a lot of there's like a really intricate sibling relationship dynamic, not in a weird way, but in like a they worry about each other a lot way, I think.
Yeah.
Is what I've heard of that show, and there's one of them is like something going on where they've got demons inside them.
Yeah,
which is also a thing in Demon Slayer.
Of that.
Like, you know.
Demon Slayer
is better. Demon Slayer, what I saw was very good, and it apparently only gets better. So
people tell me it's really good, but it just gives me this odd feeling of that I am not going to like it.
We've had this conversation before, and I remember being frustrated that you couldn't give a concrete reason why.
I can't. It's hard to articulate. Part of it is seeing like parts of it in like the weird compositing and not liking the character the character designs bother me.
Oh yeah, that. I mean, you know, you're entitled to your opinion, of course, but that's crazy to me. I actually really like the character designs in Demon Slayer.
The eyes are weird to me for some reason. Flying Witch.
Flying Witch is... Yeah, I'd put Flying Witch up there.
Cool.
Like, unless I'm missing something, probably the best Yashike to come out this decade.
Neat. It's one I've been meaning to like eventually get around to. It's
the only issue, and it is like really the only issue with Flying Witch, is that it doesn't adapt the entire manga, and the manga is a little bit hard to get your hands on, I think. But that's not really a problem with the show itself. That's more of like a problem of circumstance.
Yeah. Oh,
it's a very good anime.
The second season of the Asterisk War.
Oh, goody.
Oh, great.
Also, like, after you get to the current year on the chart, I'm probably going to end the stream.
Sounds like a good idea.
Because, like, I need to, like...
Okay. Yeah.
But...
Okay, so, Mayoiga, the show that everyone thought was going to be a serious, like, you know, and then there were one thing, but then it turns out to probably be a parody?
I don't think I remember that one.
It's like there are like 30 people on a bus.
Like the horror, like the thing that everybody thought was going to be a horror anime, but then it kind of wasn't.
It was like, and people thought like there were a bunch of people who thought like, oh, this is terrible. But then like other people were like actually paying.
Saga.
A lot of people who were like paying attention were like.
It's a parody of death game shows, if I remember.
Yeah, it's a parody of death game shows.
Where
nobody actually died.
There was also one of those airing last season, weirdly enough. Wasn't that the
one with the recent one was the one with the YouTubers.
Yes. Ooh, good God. Ooh.
You all right?
Like, I'm alive. I suddenly got really intense vertigo.
Oh,
That was
that's not good.
extremely weird. I'm fine now,
Oof.
I think. That was weird.
Okay, that's good.
I'm
sorry.
Take some Tylenol later. You're fine. But thank you for the
Yeah.
sympathy. But, like,
But-
yeah,
Yeah, like, but yeah, like Mayo Iga, it's like, if people had been, like, people pointed this out, is that if you'd been paying attention to, like, what the series composer and director typically do, and the director had also done Another, but the thing with Another is, like, it's hugely over the top. It's, like, not effective as a horror series, but as a, like, dumb schlock, you know, like, dark comedy almost, it's reasonably effective. And the thing is, like, if you actually look at what they've written, like, primarily they work on, like, weird comedies and stuff. And, like, it makes sense that Mayo Iga is essentially a send-up of Death Game.
Yeah.
And of, like, you know, weird mystery of, you know, the secret mystery of space kind of, you know, shows, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and it's, you know, and I've heard at least one person be like, it's secretly brilliant. But then other people are like, it still doesn't work for me. Oh, that Maji spin-off that's Sinbad, about Sinbad.
Oh yeah, that's one of the that was one of the first anime that Netflix got their hands on, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like as an
100, which, whatever. Joker game, which apparently was not great. Big Order, which is famously not great.
Big Order gets, like, completely insane eventually.
Yeah.
Right? Like.
Yeah, it gets real weird.
Yeah.
Also, it's like basically, what if, you know, what if edgy fanfic, but turned up to 11, and, like, we just gave them enough of a, you know, what if we actually had it properly animated? You know what I mean?
You know, yeah.
Like there's essentially somebody with a bondage stand in it.
You know how it is.
Yeah, it's
But,
really... High School Fleet.
I need to finish that. I watched the first episode, and spoilers for the end of the first episode of High School Fleet, minorly. The twist at the end of that first episode is legitimately one of the most bonkers things I've ever seen in the medium. Like, it is just...
I am distinctly curious now.
God, it's been a bit, but from what I remember, what happens, like, they set it up as like basically just like a slice of life show in a slightly weird setting. Like,
and then, but I do know that they wind up being, like, actually piloting, or, you know, like, running this, like, fucking battleship.
No, that's not the twist. That's part of the setup.
That's not even the twist?
No, that's part of the setup. Is, like, it's a world where, like, basically most of the planet is underwater, so everybody kind of lives on ships for the most part. And, like, their class is on a battleship, and, like, it's as, like, part of, like, a service to your country thing, kind of.
Okay.
That's not the
Isn't there something weird about, like, that they essentially get like flung off course or something, and something weird goes on?
Not really.
Okay.
The
explain.
twist, so, like, they set it up, and you know, they do all this stuff on a boat. They have to run some sort of errand. I don't remember what exactly, but the twist at the end of the last episode is, like, they zoom out and they show that, like, the entire planet is underwater, basically, except for the Japanese archipelago and, like, a couple other small islands. And
Okay.
my understanding is that the place that the show eventually goes is like it delves into why this all happened, and like it's just so completely contrary to what you think you're getting into.
Yeah, really, jeez. Oh, there's the Phoenix Wright adaptation that nobody liked.
Yeah.
Kuramukuro.
Not familiar, I don't think.
It was some kind of action series that involved, like, robots and shit, and I think it's on Netflix. It was another one that Netflix picked up really early.
Okay.
And, I don't remember anyone saying anything of note about it. It was done by PA Works, so it probably doesn't look bad. What little I've heard of it, God, I think I recall it being described as, like, kind of average. Kumamiko. Let's talk about train wrecks. Again, this was the one that essentially resulted in the transformation of Kinema Citrus, because Kinema Citrus, made Kumamiko. The mangaka wanted to be dissociated from the project, and the director and screenwriter walked out in shame.
Huh.
Like, the ending was so bad that everybody involved apologized and hid.
And that led to like a staff reshuffle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually. And then after that, Made in Abyss happened, and woo. Yay.
And then Review Starlight. So like.
And then Review Starlight after that, which is like, that's a pretty good run there.
Yeah.
It's like you go from, oh my god, it's like it went from being Leiden films to being, like, actually good.
Yeah.
Okay. Anne Happy, which is one of those mediocre, cute girl shows. Sancho Sanyo, which is apparently a slightly less mediocre cute girls show. And also is about, patisserie. Because of course it is.
Oh, what now?
Pastries.
Ah.
They're all girls who are super into pastry, and they hang out.
Art.
And they have different, personalities and interact with one another.
I am aware of what a school life comedy is.
Yeah, it's basically just... Yeah, it's like school life comedy, not badly written, slightly above average.
It's fine. Is what
it's
I'm getting
fine, and also they like pastries, and there's bonding.
But not bondage, that's different.
No, I mean, like granted, when they get older and, they realize things about themselves, maybe. Maybe one day. But what that has to do with pastries, setting aside, like, a feeder fetish or something, I don't know.
Let's not talk about that.
Ushio to Tora Season 2. Ushio and Tora is, like, based on an old-ass, really well-regarded shonen manga. And I've never seen it. I've heard it's good. Seisen Cerberus Ryukoku no Fatalité.
No
Why
idea.
the French? Why is there French in this?
For spice.
The anime is set in a continent ruled by sword and magic called
Nope.
Kunan.
Nope.
Literally has 3 A's.
Kuna.
There was a new Macross thing?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. It was apparently not very good.
Oof.
And it didn't get picked up anywhere because Harmony Gold.
Oh, Bakuan.
What's that?
Bakuan is the girls on motorbikes show.
Ah, actually, yeah, I watched that when it was airing. It wasn't good. I forgot that it was called that, but gets like really fetishy in a like actively
Shonen Maid.
unpleasant way.
I have seen like everything but like the last couple episodes of Shonen Maid, and it is
I didn't know that was that
adorable.
recent. I thought it was a bit
Yeah, I
older.
thought it was older too, and it's apparently not. And it's really sweet and really cute, and I highly recommend it to anyone who likes having the warm fuzzies. And also, you know, like, why not random people in maid outfits? Why not?
Why not?
It's like, it is not as weird a show as you would think, given the
No,
summary
I've heard
and
that Maid
the
Boy is
look.
good.
Yeah, he is an extremely good boy.
No, I mean,
And like the characters in general are great.
but
I like them a
probably
lot.
him too.
But yeah, main boy, whose name is confusingly Chihiro, which is a gender-neutral name in Japan.
Alright,
But
let's just get the Godhead for my last round here.
Yeah, he is extremely good. Oh, the sequel to Terraform Mars, which apparently was not good to begin with.
That, I don't, like, just straight up call things this very often, but that show is racist. Like, super racist.
Oh.
The evil aliens look like caricatures of black people. And it's on purpose, and you can tell.
That's
it's not
highly unfortunate.
Yeah.
End Ride. I vaguely remember this being a thing. I don't remember anything particularly noteworthy about it. Super Lovers! Do you remember that one?
No, but it has a great title.
Like, let's just say the cover, the picture shows 1,000 words. It is a deeply questionable yaoi show.
Ah. Well, now, Sredni, why would I remember a yaoi series?
No, I mean because it was notorious at the time.
I see.
I mean, real notorious. Like with the cover. Oh god, I should send it to you just to get your reaction.
I mean, you can drop the link if you want. I'm not going to put it on stream, but I will look at it.
Oh no. Oh no.
After this run, like, I might just leave the banner up and we can finish this little, dive into looking at the past 10 years in anime, but I'm not going to actually play anything else. Because I think I'm starting to get a pressure headache, and it's giving me the vertigo.
Okay, I'm dropping it in the.
I will look.
I am dropping the visual alone in the stream thing.
Okay, rap video director, Sredni.
Just to give you an idea of why this is problematic.
I don't like that, and in fact, I would like you to get rid of it.
Granted, later in okay,
Sredni.
They
Sredni.
are both adults
Sredni.
in the show, and he doesn't
Sredni.
look like that bad.
Sredni.
But it's still deeply questionable.
Sredni. Please delete that message.
I will. I am so sorry.
It's fine. To anyone who's watching, the VOD or whatever and is curious, it's obviously, like, younger fella who, to my eye, looks like a literal child, sitting on the lap of an older guy who is, like, sort of giving this vaguely creepy smile.
Yes, that's his. Okay, the thing is
it's
that,
just not,
granted,
not a great
from
idea.
what I know of the show, is that that's essentially from a flashback, because they're adoptive brothers. And
let's talk about another show now,
and it
please.
flashes forward when the younger one is 18.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Still looks younger. It's super skeevy. even by my standards, it's just a little much.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Oh, hey, Sailor Moon Crystal, which,
Yeah.
I mean, apparently got significantly better as it went on.
Yeah, like, people did not like that show at the time, but
like the later seasons apparently are.
Been
I've
good.
heard that like the later seasons are really good.
Yeah.
Like that it stays true to the manga and like actually lives up to it later, as opposed to just being like.
What was that? Did you guys hear that?
There was a thunk.
Yeah, like a real loud one. Hold on. Place, but it is too much for us to be putting up with whatever the fuck that was. Jesus. I don't know what that was. Probably the downstairs neighbors again. But nobody is in my apartment, so good enough for me. You still there?
Oh yeah.
Alright.
Okay, this, so there's, Gundam, I think it's Gundam Unicorn here.
Yeah.
And there's, 12 Sai Chichan Mune no Tokimeki, which is apparently just a cute show about, like, the 6th grader girl who, like, just is dealing with being a 6th grader who falls for a boy.
Sorry, I only heard like half of that. The people that live below us are doing something. I think they're like moving furniture around or something.
Oh, okay.
Give me a fucking heart attack, why don't you?
But it's basically just about, you know, like this 6th grader.
Yeah,
who,
no, I heard that part.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, she's just living her life and gets a crush and good for. It looks cute. It's done by OLM, who do mostly Pokemon, and also did and did Berserk back in the day.
Yeah.
Which is like
they're
one of
those studios like the Studio Wit, where it's like they mostly do like very long running franchise stuff.
Yeah, like,
and when they do something that's not that, it's notable.
Yeah, like when Wit did the Ancient Magus Bride, which
Wit also did Rolling Girls.
Huh. Yeah, like, I mean, mostly they've been doing Attack on Titan and it's like, sure, whatever. Yeah. But I need to see the Ancient Magus Bride because it is something, I don't know, it's like not super something that's super in my wheelhouse, but it, like, from what I saw of the manga, it seemed really intriguing, and it looks pretty. And, you know, I like the character design of Skullhead Dude. He's cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've read a good chunk of the manga, and it's good.
Yeah, it's like he is officially my cow-headed monster husband, and that is good. And I shall be watching the show. More Aikatsu. Beyblade Burst. Card Fight Vanguard. G. Stride Gate. Kaito Joker, which has been a thing for a while, and like Future Card Buddy Fights.
I have a friend who's really into Buddy Fight.
Yeah, I know that. I am aware. Yeah, like, I sometimes get it confused with Card Fight Vanguard, which initially Card Fight Vanguard legitimately was about playing a card game.
And like both, I don't know if the anime are done by the same studio, but like the games are owned by the same company, so that's why.
Yeah.
I think
But,
like Buddy Fight is meant to be like a more accessible version of Card Fight or something like that.
I don't know. Like, I can't remember which one. I think it might be. I think it's Card Fight Vanguard. That the first season is actually legitimately about the actual game and in the real world and people playing.
Yeah.
Which is like not a thing that usually happens with these kind of shows.
No, it's not. How
okay, and we're
how far are you?
We're basically I think we're only halfway through 2016 now.
Oh my god. I'm gonna pull up the chart. So that way we can finish this up sometime tonight.
Oh, Mob Psycho 100 debuted in the beginning of summer 2016.
Well, there you go.
That's a potential contender.
Hey, by the way, like, if you're watching this either live or in the VOD, you are a trooper.
Yeah, because it's basically just us rambling about anime.
What season specifically were you in?
I am on the summer season of 2016.
What the fuck?
I think it's the summer season.
Web Advisor. Okay, well, I will need to get rid of that at some point. Are they playing music down there? Hold on for a second. They super are. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not.
I can't hear it.
Like, some kind of dance music? Although I can't hear what exactly. Yeah, summer 2016. If it'll fucking load at any point. What has my girlfriend done to her computer? What do we got here? New game, well regarded. Re-Life.
New
I've
game.
Heard of.
Orange. I will say
Orange is real weird, right? Like it gets
Orange
real weird.
Is the one about sending. Orange is the one about sending your letters back to your past self to prevent somebody from killing themselves.
But like,
and
I believe it gets real weird.
Yeah, it's directed by Hiroshi Hamasaki.
Here's some great stuff.
Okay,
Danganronpa 3, both halves of that anime, and Taboo Tattoo, which you ever seen that? Any heard anything about that?
I am vaguely aware of that.
Comically bad, like action comedy series.
You kind of skipped over what I was trying to say with Orange was...
Sorry.
The director of Orange is Hiroshi Hamasaki, who... Now, it's funny that you mentioned, like, Terraform Mars being really awful, was, like, he actually directed the first season of that.
We're using analyst.
The first season. But he wasn't on the second. But he has like a couple of shows that are real duds in his catalog. But he's mainly known for really experimental, really dark stuff like Technolize and Shigurui, and being an episode director on Paranoia Agent.
Interesting.
And he directed Orange, and Orange, like, the thing is, from what I've seen of Orange, is, like, despite the fact that it's sort of a romance show, sort of a drama show, which has some weird stuff going on with time travel and sad stuff, that it's, like, a lot of his directing stuff that makes him such a brilliant director, you see it in the direction despite the fact that he's, you know, being much more subtle about it. Like, he does stuff with framing stuff with, like distant shots with power lines.
Have we played the Toho yet? Zursk, you are, like, actually 5 hours too late to watch Toho.
Yeah, 5 hours ago.
We have literally not exaggerating or being ironic. For the past 5 hours, we have been going over,
every 2010's anime to try to decide which ones are the best of the decade. in our
Yeah.
personal opinions,
Yes.
or that, could be contenders that we should probably go back to.
Like, I'm not even playing anything anymore, because, like, I played Isaac for however long, and I started getting, like, vertigo. So,
Oof.
um,
Yeah.
but just, like...
91 Days was Shuka's attempt to do an original thing. It's like Baccano
play a
without the cool
2010s
stuff.
anime. I think that's how you get banned from Twitch, if you play an anime.
Nanatsu no Taizai I've heard of, but oh no, it's Seven Deadly Sins. That sucks. Let's not talk about it.
It's got a good
Sweetness and Lightning is the one about, like mother, father-daughter stuff, and also food.
Yes. Just like going through. Can I
Let's see, getting past Dong or Romper. Look. Honda-kun. Wait, Honda-kun is the prequel to Barakamon. But it's really, really different.
This art club has a problem. Oh, I've actually seen
that
some
one
of that.
That's
okay.
apparently
It's alright.
That's all I know.
Love Live Sunshine?
Sunshine.
Well
regarded,
I
have friends who are hardcore Love Live
Play
people.
Idolmaster 2 for the Xbox 360. Yeah, I'll get right on that. The infamous 2016 Berserk anime. Of course.
Yeah.
By Studio Mia Pensy? Never heard of him.
Maso Gakuan HXH.
Oh, I've seen some of this. It's real bad.
Titty anime.
Titty anime. No, like even by the standards of...
By the standards of titty anime, it's not good.
Exceptionally terrible. A lot of weird, rapey overtones.
Ew. Qualidia Code, I can't remember anything about that one.
It's got a 61, so I'm gonna bet that that's not particularly great.
Servamp is the shonen series where the guy is like, he becomes
they're the
tied
guys.
to a vampire, and it's kind of got serious gay overtones.
Let's see. Amanchu, which the first season of that is great, and then the rest of it kind of sucks. That's another one. That's another one where there's like heavy gay subtext, but then they bring in a boy.
Yeah, although,
and that was like that in the original manga, so there's like not really,
Oh yeah, but
you know how it goes.
There's
sports
there's
anime.
That
I'm
Deep
not
Rayman anime that nobody cares about.
Fate, Khalid, Liner, Prisma, Ilya, 3 Ray.
Yeah, that's the weird magical girl spin-off one
thing.
With the awkward fan service.
Yes.
Arslan Senki. Oh yeah, that one. The Legend of Arslan. It was a fantasy show based on a thing from the 90s.
Jesus, there were a lot of shows that I just don't remember.
Oh, the Moros Mononoke. Fukugen Mononoke. Yeah, I've heard that's pretty cute, and it also seems to have some gay subtext.
I actually own Racketeer. I'm reading Zerst's comments in the chat.
Play Racketeer.
I have actually.
There's some Howliners stuff, which the
Howliners
doesn't matter if it's not anime.
The Howliners.
I know they're Chinese.
Well, they're like a pan-East.
I know they did To Be Hero
and To Be Heroine, both of which I think are actually surprisingly good.
Yeah, I've heard.
Let's go to the fall season. We're speeding through.
Oh wait, we missed a couple of.
Okay.
Yeah, but you missed like Cheerdanshi and Ange Vierge because we could say things about that.
Could we? I don't think I know what either of those are.
Ange Vierge has one of the most notoriously awful first episodes of anything ever, and it's a Silverlink show. And Cheerdanshi is about boys who do cheerleading, and Battery is it's about baseball, and it's very serious.
Interesting.
There are a few other things here.
I would assume that you want to get onto the fall season of 2016 at some point, because that's where your is.
Also, there's a thing called Puzzles and Dragons.
Puzzle and Dragons, a mobile game adaptation.
I know. There is March Comes in Like a Lion, which is, from what little I've seen and what I've heard,
mentioned that
fucking
a
great.
while ago, yeah.
Like, maybe actually...
That's got an
like,
83 on Analyst. That's, like, unheard of.
Yeah, it's considered one of the best shows of this decade by, like, anyone who's actually seen it. And again, it's like Akiyuki Shinbo pouring his heart and soul into something, which is rare. Yuri on Ice!
I said that one already.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
yeah,
you didn't. You did.
I'm
you
sorry,
just,
I'm
like, are
scrolling
off
down
in your
separately.
own little world.
Drifters, because sure. Same guy who did what is it called? The guy who did Drifters, the manga, did Hellsing.
Yes. Flip Flap was that? Yeah, Flip Flappers was this season. Yeah.
Okay. Also,
God,
Keijo,
this was the season I worked at fucking the Dollar Tree for. I missed out on a lot of these because I was miserable working there, and that's a fact about me.
That sucked. But yeah, so
it
like,
was at Rite Aid or I don't remember. It was one of my several shitty retail jobs I've had. Keijo is here, yes.
Yes, Keijo, the immortal classic.
Yes. You'd be amazed how many people I talk to who think that that's, like, legitimately, like, an 11 out of 10 show.
I mean...
I think I believe that it's funny and probably, like, decent, but...
Yeah, it's apparently, like, a solid sports anime that just happens to have a really ridiculous premise.
A really ridiculous sport.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It has a really ridiculous premise.
Occultic
9 is apparently visually really good, but the story is nonsense dog shit.
Maho Shoujo... This is Magical Girl Racing Project. That's a show.
I have heard very mixed things about that one.
It's not very good. Even most people, like, I've met a couple people that are fans of the wider franchise it's part of, but even they are like, the anime is easily the worst part of it.
Oh, is Zeta the Last Witch?
Girlish Number.
Girlish Number seemed interesting.
It's like a very cynical idol anime, if I remember
I know,
correctly.
it's like, it is like a relentless... Like, specifically, it's actually like a really nasty jab at, like, the idol industry.
Yeah. WW.working. There's a
the working sequel that no one expected would happen, but just kind of did.
The third working anime, I believe.
The third Wagnaria. Funewo Amu! Oh.
Hey, here's a classic for you, a bit farther down the page. Bloodivores.
Oh no!
Slapped with
fucking no. But you skipped the fifth season of Natsume Yuujinshou, which every season of Natsume Yuujinshou is apparently, like, top tier. The Udon show with the little, Tanuki boy.
Oh, yeah, I've actually...
Which is also done by Leiden Films in one of their few moments of not sucking.
I think I've seen the first episode of that. Yeah, during one of our Crunchy Roulette things.
Yeah, what is it with, like, Leiden Films being mostly completely fucking awful, and then every once
in
a while
there was a turning point at some point, like, because everything they've done for, like, the past 2 years has just sucked.
Yeah, but it's like Udon no Kuni, I've heard, is really cute.
We've still got 3 years to get through.
Yeah, like, but I've heard that's cute, and I've been putting it on the back burner forever.
Goodness, Scorching Ping Pong Girls, which I've already talked about, that I don't really like that.
Token Rambu, so
Brave
what?
Witches,
Witchcross!
Vivid Strike? Lost Origin Sighted Wishcross, yes. That is apparently the bad one of the Wishcross series.
Oof. Brave Witches, if you want a Strike Witches spinoff. Vivid Strike Witches, wait a second, is that the one that's like, no, it's not. Is it? Wait a second, is that one? No, it's a Nanoha spinoff. Holy shit, okay. There are a zillion Nanoha spin-offs, by the way.
You keep
It's
keep cutting
it's
yourself
sprawls.
off. What is this? Matoi
Look, you
the
know what
Sacred
Nanoha is,
Slayer.
right?
Yes, I'm talking about something else.
Okay.
Matoi the Sacred Slayer. I have never heard of this.
Oh.
It's a magical girl show of some kind. Looks decent, and it got a sequel.
Huh.
Long Riders, which I think is about a biking club, and
Classicaloid, which is that one thing that Sunrise did that everybody half forgets about.
Yeah, the weird classical music thing.
The
Show by Rock.
The sequel to Show by Rock.
Which I have heard of, but not seen.
More Bubuki Baranki.
Tiger
Magic Kyun Renaissance, that's Idol Boys show. Tiger Mask W is the wrestling show.
Yeah, Tiger Mask. Idol Memories? This anime takes place in 2035 where virtual technology has evolved enough that people can experience world travel and other live experiences from the comfort of their own home.
Okay then.
In this
and then it just goes down to the one all the way at the bottom. What's all the way at the bottom? But Heybot, which I've actually heard is good.
Heybot is apparently mind breaking, but good.
Yeah, like mind breaking, but not bad.
Yes. And
there's a distinction to be drawn.
There's a 2B hero down in the shorts. And
yep.
Not anything else of note that I see. Mambo, that one with like the cardboard box cats. I should actually.
Which is actually that's a spin-off of Yotsuba.
Yes. We should.
Okay, let's move on to 2017.
Well, we'll do one more.
Winter 2017.
We'll do one more, but then I want to go actually because I'm like not feeling great.
Okay, this is the one with the second season of Konosuba.
Oh, Maid Dragon.
Maid Dragon, yay!
That show.
Yojo Senki, I don't care. Little Witch Academia, yay!
That show is very good.
Masamune Kun's Revenge, I don't care.
Gabriel Dropout.
Oh,
yeah, this was the year that I kind of like majorly got back into watching anime, so I've at least heard of most of these.
Fuka, which apparently is a train wreck.
I want to watch that one of these days.
But Akiba's Trip is apparently so blatant that it's just like.
Oh really? Maybe I'm thinking of something else then. I thought that was one of the ones.
Akiba's Trip is based on a game which involves fighting and people's clothes tear off.
Ah. Well.
But it's like just totally shameless, so you can't like be mad at it. You know what I mean?
Hey, handshakers. There you go.
Aka, which apparently, some people said it was pretty good. Yeah. The second season of Shogen Roku Rakugo Shinju, which is apparently the even better one. Chaos Child, which everyone forgot happened. And it was the sequel to Chaos Head. Kimono Friends! Oh, that happened.
Yeah.
I feel bad about what happened to it.
Yeah.
But the guy went on to do Kemori Kusa, which is apparently doing very well.
It had a good reception. I actually watched some of Kemori Kusa and didn't like it at all, but...
Yeah, but at the same time, his whole style is a heavily acquired taste. So, like, that's fine.
I suppose. Yeah.
It's like, I don't think that people who are into his work, God, his name is escaping me, Tatsuki, I believe, into his work, expect everyone to be, like, 110% on board. More Yoamushi Pedal. What is Long EID Live? Oh, what the fuck? Onihei, the name rings a bell. The second Super Lovers. Oh, God. There's more of it.
Oh god, that's a Dean show, too, so it probably doesn't even look any good.
I mean, it could look good. I mean, like, Rakugo Shinju looked fine, and, you know, it's Studio Dean.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Like, in all seriousness, I should, like, go.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
This has been legitimately a lot of fun, but also I've been streaming for over 6 hours straight.
Oh yeah. Also,
Which,
also, I My Me Surgical Friends happened in 2017.
Also, this is a great argument for not streaming for longer than 3 hours. Like, I do not feel very well right now, and I'm pretty sure it's just because I've been sitting here for the better part of 6 hours.
I understand that. This is why when I'm streaming, the nice thing about being on a tablet is I can wander around the room or just lie on my bed.
Or stretch out or whatever, yeah. Anyway, if anybody's still watching this live, then, you know, good on you.
Thank you,
we will be back.
Fan base.
Yeah, we will be back on Thursday for Shapes and Forms like usual, which I still need to upload last week's episode of Savad. I forgot to do that.
Bye!
Bye, everybody. See you around.